Dermot and Dave, it is Today FM. If you'd like to get in touch with us today, and we'd love to hear from you as we always do, it is 087 4100 102, please.
Now, our next guest is making massive waves in the world of wrestling. He's just been in Albania competing at the United World Wrestling European Championships. He's the Irish national wrestling champion, and he's just signed a contract for a German wrestling team. And he's not even 18 yet. In fact, you may remember him as Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was his nickname that he got all those years ago for being Ireland's strongest child. Brandon Blake, how are you?
Right, lads, how are you?
Not bad at all. Yourself?
All good now, can't complain.
You're on your holidays now, so thanks for joining us when you're supposed to be taking a break after the European Championships and everything.
Pleasure to come on. Just had to get a break.
Were you aware that you were Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I was back many years ago. I was, yeah.
Yeah. So there was a famous picture of you went viral of you with a six-pack, absolutely shredded at age 8.
Yeah, I've been working out since I was young enough now, to be fair. Started young.
Yeah.
It's the best thing to do.
So while the other kids were playing with, I don't know, whatever kids played with back then, some kind of toy.
It was only 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was PlayStation.
I don't know what a toy is 10 years ago. You were doing chin-ups and squats and everything else.
Did you ever get any negative kind of feedback from that, where people was going, you're only a child, you shouldn't be doing that, or your parents are putting you through this, or whatever?
I've gotten it, a bit, I've gotten mixed opinions on it, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed working out. It's always been a big passion of mine,
And then you channeled the strength you were able to build up in your young years into wrestling. Why was wrestling the thing that you chose?
Well, I started off doing martial arts, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, wrestling, everything like that. Just to learn a bit of self-defense at first. I just thought it would be important, and I feel everyone should have a bit of self-defense. And I ended up falling in love with it. And for a while, from the age of 12 till the age of 16, I was doing MMA. And last October or November, I think, I decided to just fully focus on pure wrestling. And I stopped doing MMA, and I just completely was just wrestling then every day.
Sorry, so about 8 or 9 months ago, you decided to stop everything else, focus on wrestling, and you're the Irish national wrestling champion and just competed in the European Championships. So you're obviously doing a bit for that as well.
Yeah, well, I was. Yeah, to be fair, I did only start pure wrestling. I used to wrestle when I done MMA. I used to wrestle for MMA.
Yes, for it.
But now I just completely wrestle every day. No other martial arts. I'm literally just completely wrestling.
And what's the difference between jiu-jitsu? I know you're a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. What's the difference between that and wrestling?
So jiu-jitsu is more kind of, there's submissions in jiu-jitsu. You can choke people out. You can, do different submissions to make them tap, everything like that. There's no submissions in wrestling. Basically, in wrestling, you either have to pin them. That's an automatic win. At the end of the match, it's whoever has more points. And then if there's a 10-point difference, so if you're winning 10-0, it's over. 15-5, 20-10,
Once you're 10 points ahead, you just win.
Yeah. Exactly,
We should obviously make maybe an obvious distinction here, but this is not, inverted commas, professional wrestling, the WWE kind of thing. This is the wrestling that I suppose we know mostly maybe from, American college kind of scenarios is where a lot of us would have seen it in movies and things. But this is, the proper grappling, floor wrestling type of thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's Olympic wrestling. The Europeans I was at was Olympic rules. That's a place that it's very popular as American college wrestling. That's another goal of mine. I want to get to that. I want to try to get scholarship in America.
Amazing.
For wrestling.
I've seen pictures of your physique, online and your training pictures. You don't look like the typical wrestler. I know that may sound ignorant on our part, but in my head it's always kind of a beefy jock type, rugby player physique almost. Whereas, you're still quite, fit and athletic.
There's many different physiques. There is that stereotypical physique for the sport. It's like that in a lot of sports. But when you go around the world and you see different competitions, there's actually a lot of different physiques. There's, tall, small, big, in shape, lean. There's every different type of shape, every different body type.
And when you step in to wrestle someone, I mean, obviously they'd be in your weight category, but are you more like wary of the little wiry fella or the huge, big muscly guy? Like, are there pros and cons to fighting different shaped fighters?
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, a lot of people would be more wary over the bigger people, because they can be stronger, but then the smaller people can be real fast. They can be fast, and so they can have that advantage. Honestly, like when I'm training and drilling with every different body type I possibly can, so I'm making sure that I'm ready for that certain body type when it comes to a competition.
Do you find that there's a lot of people trying to lure you back into MMA? I mean, that's where the money is, a lot of it. If you look at the likes of Conor McGregor, I know he's out in front in terms of his success, but in terms of professional sport that incorporates your skills, that's kind of where the money is. Where do you see yourself? Would you ever see yourself going back into that, or is it just not what you're interested in?
No, like it's definitely an option. Like me myself, as I said, I'm focusing on going to college for wrestling, so purely focus on wrestling then. And I want to go to the Olympics in 2028. That's another big goal of mine. So I'm focusing on them at the moment, and then maybe after that, after college, it could be an option. Like a lot of people do it after college, they transition over to MMA. It's been done a lot, and a lot of the people who've done that became champion. And
you've had years of experience of that as a kid as well, so it'll stand to you whatever decision you make later on. Yeah, so 2028, the Olympics, that's the dream, that's the aim, that's the goal. Do you think you need the US college scenario to get you there, or can you, if that didn't happen for whatever reason, do you think you could still make it to the Olympics?
I'm a humble person. I think I have a lot more of a chance if I go through that path in an American college, because the experience I'm going to get from that, and I'm going to get a lot better if I do it that. If I do it that way, I think both paths are both possible. I just have to work hard.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt you'll definitely do that. Brandon Blake, thank you for joining us. You can follow Brandon if you like. He's on Instagram at _Brandon Best Blake _. So go and give him a follow there. But Brandon, we wish you the best. We'll track your progress over the next coming years, and certainly by the time we get close to 2028, we definitely hope we're talking to you and wishing you the best for the Olympics.
100%. I'll be talking to you again. Thanks so much for having me on, lads.
Thanks, Brandon.
See you, Brandon.
See you later. Bye.